Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Diana. If you're new here, if you're not new, welcome back. Also, welcome to another episode in my dating series. If you guys haven't watched the first one, check it out. Anyways, today we are going to be talking about when you should quit your relationship. I love writing about leaving your relationship. Well, not leaving any kind of relationship. I love writing about leaving a relationship that is not serving you. If you go on my Medium, you will see that a lot of the articles I write are all about leaving, letting go, breaking up, cutting things off. Why? Because I wish that I watched these videos or read these types of articles when I was dating the wrong kind of people. Something that I have definitely learned is that you can be dating somebody and you can be really happy with them, but that does not mean that you are suited to be a couple. Sometimes you just don't realize it, and you can be so lost in a person that you don't realize how negatively they're actually impacting you. Or maybe it's none of those things. Maybe, you know, maybe your relationship's totally fine. Like, you guys are good, but it's not necessarily good. There's like no up and there's no downs. Your relationship is just average. So the question for that is, do you stay in a relationship that's average or do you leave? And with that being said, here are 5 signs that you should probably quit your relationship. I do want to put in a disclaimer. I am not a relationship expert. I am simply a relationship writer. These are my thoughts, my opinions. There are certain things that I have done research on, and I might include tidbits of that. I write a lot about relationships. I've been in relationships, so I feel like I have a few pieces of advice that could be helpful for a lot of people. Anyways, with that being said, let's jump into the first sign that you should probably quit your relationship. The first sign is you're not growing as a couple or individually, meaning you've been in the same spot for quite some time now. You're not growing emotionally, you're not growing spiritually, you've been stuck. Before the relationship, you had a lot of dreams, you had goals, you had ambitions. You wanted to start your own business. You wanted to open up your own coffee shop. You wanted to write a book. You wanted to create your own clothing line. Now, all of those things, they've just been forgotten. And you are just going through the motions of life. You go to work, you come home, you eat your dinner, watch some TV, go to bed. Sometimes you go out and drink, and that's pretty much it. You repeat that process. You literally have no sense of purpose in your life. You feel empty, and you also kind of feel like all of your friends are a lot farther along than you. You envy them. You wonder what happened, because everybody used to say that you had so much going for you. You used to feel like you had so much going for you. You used to look forward to the future. If your relationship is not giving you the space to grow, to thrive, to mature, to develop, then maybe it's time to reevaluate your relationship. If your partner isn't pushing you to chase those dreams that you've had because, you know, they're too busy sitting there watching TV and their bad habits are rubbing off on you, then maybe it's time to, once again, reevaluate your relationship. Here's something to keep in mind. You are not supposed to decline as an individual the moment you enter a relationship. The second sign is that there is little to no effort. Consider this example. When you guys first started dating, everything was great. Everything was perfect. You guys were happy together. You had your own things going on. He went to the gym, you went to the gym, you took care of yourself, he took care of himself, he prioritized you. You guys went out on date nights. He brought you flowers just because it's a random freaking Tuesday and he wanted to make you feel good. Ultimately, he made an effort. And now you guys have been dating for a while, and all of those things, they're done for. He's not putting in an effort, and neither are you, because in your mind, you think that just because the two of you have been dating for X amount of time, they're not gonna leave you, so you don't have to put in that effort anymore. Growing up, I used to see a lot of couples that would date and they always, you know, they always looked good. They always took care of themselves, and once they would get married or once they were dating for an extended period of time, they just let things slip. And I always thought it was so crazy to me, because if your love grows deeper for one another, the longer that you stay together, why would you put in less effort? If you want a relationship that is healthy, happy, and successful, the effort needs to be put in constantly. not just in the beginning phases, not just during your anniversary or on date night. It needs to be put in constantly. The third sign is actually quite simple. You've been unhappy for a very long time. So you, deep down, you know that a relationship is not always going to be rainbows and sunshine and happy all the time, but you also know that you've been unhappy deep down for a very long time in your relationship, yet you choose to stay with this person despite knowing this. Why? Are you afraid of being lonely? Maybe taking a dating break is just what you need to get comfortable in your own company. There was a study that was published in the American Psychological Association that said that people who are scared of being lonely end up in unsatisfying relationships. In addition to that, they pursue relationships that they know will not make them happy, all because they're scared of being alone. Let's just say that maybe it's not you being afraid of being lonely. Maybe you've been unhappy for a long time. You know that you should take a break, but you're scared to give up a good thing because your partner is a good person and you care about them, but you're just not happy. Here's the answer to that. If it's meant to be, it will be. I've always loved that phrase. Maybe you have kids relying on you. What good are you doing your kids by staying in a relationship that doesn't make you happy? Don't you want your kids to grow up staying a happy and functional relationship? Do you really want your daughter to grow up thinking that it's okay to stay with somebody who makes them unhappy? Don't settle in a relationship if they make you unhappy. If you know deep down that it's not right, that they're not the right person, that you're staying with them out of comfort, then it's time to leave. In the end, it's just not worth it. Okay, the next sign is there's a lack of commitment from their end. There are a lot of people out there that think that they're in a relationship, but in reality, they're just dating themselves. If you're the one who is constantly reaching out, constantly setting up dates, constantly texting them, constantly calling, constantly checking up on them, you need to cut that out because they are not interested. In order for a relationship to work out, both parties have to make an effort. Don't let someone take advantage of you just because you're blinded by your affections for them. One big reason why a lot of relationships fail is not because of a lack of love, but because one was being loved too much and the other was not being loved enough. So if you're with somebody who is incapable of committing to you completely, then it's time to reevaluate. There is somebody out there that is willing to match your effort and is probably a significantly better fit for you. All right, so the last sign that you should quit your relationship is you are too codependent, or maybe they are. A healthy relationship should be two people who are able to respect one another, love one another, and compromise together. It's not you constantly giving and them constantly taking, or vice versa. So a few signs of codependency is if somebody literally finds little to no interest within anything outside of the relationship. Another sign of codependency is staying in a relationship that is emotionally, physically, or verbally abusive and completely being aware of that yet still staying. Another great example is feeling anxious because you feel like you constantly need to please your partner and make them happy. And then another very great example of codependency is feeling guilty about thinking about yourself and never expressing your needs or your personal desires because all you think about is making sure that they're good. If you recognize yourself or your partner in any of the examples that were mentioned above, and if you click on my article, there are other examples that I mentioned, then it's definitely time to reevaluate. Codependency can definitely be fixed, but if not, it's definitely very toxic. As mentioned before, these are all opinion-based. I do want to say that leaving is never easy. It's hard, and doing the right thing is not always going to be easy. And a lot of times you're probably going to feel uncomfortable doing it, but you need to keep in mind that letting go of something that's not right for you is not the end of the world. It's the beginning of a new life. It's the beginning of a new opportunity. It's the beginning of the chance to love somebody again and be loved in the way that you truly deserve. So I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. If you did, please give me a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe for more videos, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.